We're both wearing the Legend Plain
Oh, look at that. No polo this week.
What is going on, inner nerds? We are back with another episode of covering The Bad Batch. I am Mike Varall. You were always doing something
I don't know what to do
crazy with your hands,
I don't know
man.
what that is.
Let the people know who you are.
I'm Steven. Nice to see you. Nice to meet you. How are we?
We are here for episode 6 of The Bad Batch, which is called Decommissioned. What happened with this episode, sir?
Well, we got some decommissioned parts. Yeah, we're still on Ord Montel. We got some happening in the bar, you know, real great parenting for the Bad Batch. They have Omega literally using their laser bow, just firing at it.
I mean, if I was a father,
yeah, I mean that's the internet.
That is something I would do indeed.
And none of them are reprimanding. They're all like trying to get her to aim better. Yeah, that's hilarious.
Great parenting.
Yeah.
Come on. Be real.
It's true. It's true. I mean, I guess it's survival tactics.
Needs to hit the gym a little bit.
Yeah, a little.
But it's
weak.
okay.
I relate. So I understand. Sid has basically just like, I guess, stole them.
She forced them to work for her, so they didn't have an option.
Yeah.
They already work for her now as mercenaries.
Remember all of like last week when Sid was like, "I'll get you information," and then this week it's like, "No, we're not giving you information. There's just gonna be another secret character in the show." They get sent to, how do you say that? Corellia. Home of Solo, which is pretty cool. That's where Han Solo's from. That's where that film starts. We get that connection there. They're going there to retrieve a separatist tactical, I almost said robot. Wow. Droid head. They don't say robots in these. I'm a fool. Which is going to give them insight. We don't know. This is where it gets a little like, and I'm glad they brought it up in the episode. They bring up, they're going to grab the head and just give it to Sid, who's just going to give it to whoever.
Yeah.
And
they do whatever with it.
Right.
What's the whole premises of doing this to begin with?
Where's it
just
going?
For money.
Right,
That's what this initially was about, because they are broke, starving, and don't have anything. So, yeah, they go to this, Corellia to go get this tactical droid for money purposes. No basis whatsoever on why.
Right. Or who they're giving it for. And that's really the dangerous part. And that's what's like interesting, where they're realizing that what's happening in the world's wrong, but they're not making it any better.
No, and they're not really treading as properly as they should through the galaxy. They're really just carelessly going through, doing whatever, trying to survive, but they're kind of like shooting themselves in the foot. So I think it's going to come back to bite them eventually.
No, right, and I was just going to add to your point, which is what made that ending even more, like, not prominent, but like powerful, is like you have to pick a side. And like, no, we're different, but it's like, you're not different.
No.
You're literally the same. So so they go through the whole battle. We get some cool throwback with Tracy and Rafa, which is awesome. And they even make the comment to Omega
that, man, my girl Omega needs to hit the gym, and I think I have a great place for her to go.
Sponsor shout out.
Our sponsor shout out, Sets Build Hybrid Training. They run a 10-day challenge twice a month. They also offer a 3-day pass whenever you want to go use it. So if you're like Omega, struggling to aim your bow and arrow, I actually had a great workout today that involved Archer Rose.
Wow.
So I was working on the Omega game. I knew this was coming.
So if you're in the Freehold, New Jersey area, guess who you can be working out with?
Yours truly, baby. Sets Hybrid Training. Go check them out. They got locations in Jackson, Freehold, and Old Bridge currently. Looking to expand soon. And
information's below.
Information's below.
Yeah, so they get out of it. They get the droid head. There's all the fight, all the commotion you expect at a Bad Batch, and then the ending basically happens with Rafa saying to Hunter, "You can, he gives him the information from the head. What's his name? Tech secretly takes the head in for what the hell is the thing called?
It's like a stick probe.
Whatever you want to call it. Takes the head.
Downloads all the information from the tactical droid's dome into this stick. They were going to take it for themselves, but then they decide, because they think they're doing the right thing, give it to Rafa and Trace. But also don't forget what major thing has happened, and I've been telling everyone to pay attention to this. Wrecker had a very tough time this episode, and he was not okay. I literally thought he was going to flip the switch. His hit inhibitor chip is about to go off. I think. And I don't know what's going to happen, and I don't want it to happen, because Wrecker's probably one of my favorite characters in this show, but I think the time's coming where that's going to kick in heavy, and the team's going to have to make a bad choice.
Yeah, you're right.
Literally a bad choice.
A bad choice for the Bad Batch. Yeah, and I think it ties into it's not a post scene, but that little end part where Trace and Raph are talking to a mysterious character about them, and we'll get into a little bit of theorization, if that's a word, I guess. But I mean, who could it be? Who do you think that character is?
I honestly don't know, because we kind of laid out a timeline personally for ourselves, and we're trying to just figure out where, what characters from what were within this time frame, and to be honest, I really don't have a clue.
Yeah, well, let's dive into it. So we know there's episode 1, 2, 3, right? And in between 2 and 3, and then the end of 3 is Clone Wars. And then Rebels. And then we have Bad Batch, which is right now.
Yeah.
And then Solo, Rogue One, 4, 5, 6, Mandalorian 1, Mandalorian 2, 7, 8, 9.
Got
So
it.
right now, we're after 3 going into 4. We're like legitimately at 3, like moments after 3.
Yeah.
Like we're still in like 2-week period post episode 3.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what are you thinking, Mike? Is it?
I mean, the person to me that Rafa was talking to looked like they were in some sort of cloak Jedi robe. Don't want to get my hopes up. Kind of want to see Obi-Wan make an appearance.
Hello there.
If it's Obi-Wan, oh my god,
Would be amazing. But I just don't know. And like what we've learned from, the MCU and getting false hopes up and being completely wrong, because I was on the Mephisto train for such a quite long time. Very hard. I don't want to make assumptions and say who it could be. We also pointed out there could be, Saul Guerrero, we've seen him, so why would they, shadow him? Rex could be a solid possibility.
That'd be cool.
Bail Organa, you thought of.
Which we saw, though. We already saw
him already.
It would be weird to like see a character and then that be the secret.
Yeah, I don't know if like it even could be possibly Ahsoka, but why?
Yeah,
Because like the Ahsoka show is coming, and maybe that's their
Tie-in.
bridge and tie-in to that. But who knows, honestly?
Yeah.
We're gonna have to wait and figure out.
But you're right. My theory is coming off of Mike's theory is that Wrecker is going to try to kill, and I think it's a Jedi. Only because Order 66 is against Jedi.
Yeah.
And the only Jedi around that we know at this point is...
What about Kanan?
Ryan thought that. Ryan thought Kanan. The only thing is Kanan's a kid at this point.
Yeah, still young.
True.
So, like, he wouldn't be ordering around Rafa.
Yeah, he's hiding right now still.
Yeah,
I would
so
assume.
I don't... So, I think it has to be Ahsoka or Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
To make it traumatic, because what's Wrecker... If it kicks in... The only person he's going to try to kill is a Jedi.
Yeah.
So that has to then be...
You're right.
Right? Like
That's that's the only thing that makes sense to me.
And then Hunter or Omega learning how to do... Like, they might be making this a point for her to learn.
How about, like, I just thought about it, Omega actually taking Crosshair's place as sort of that, like, ace.
Yeah,
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see what happens. I really did enjoy this episode.
I love this episode.
I think it picked up quite a bit since our previous episodes.
Ryan loved it too, right? You loved it.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about real quick. Decommissioned as a title had multiple. They're talking about the Separatist droids.
Yep. Which it was cool to see them again.
That was so... Well, I was even saying how... Ryan and I were talking earlier about how that was a... I had to give Robin didn't... She was the one who brought it to my attention. So I give her credit. And to my attention. She said it. It was a flip of episode 2.
Okay.
Of when Padme and Anakin were in the same area where things were getting made. Remember, Anakin gets trapped, and now it's the flipped.
Yes.
So that was kind of cool throwback to episode 2. But how they're getting decommissioned, how the clones are getting decommissioned, how this world is basically getting decommissioned.
Yeah.
So I thought it was a pretty deep title.
I think so. Indeed.
Yeah.
And
Indeed.
It was cool. Indeed, sir. Indeed, sir. It was cool to see, like, they just pop on. They're like, I don't know what's happening, but orders are orders.
Yeah.
Just keep shooting.
How much did it show the personality?
It's so crazy.
I thought everyone had a great moment to shine.
Yeah.
Everyone. And did you just say the echo part?
No, like the droids.
Oh yeah. Oh wait, what are we doing?
Kick
Right.
around.
Following
What are we
orders.
doing?
Right.
Doesn't matter, we're just following orders.
And then they're
Orders.
following down.
Orders are orders.
Yeah. Or how when they're like, "Do I have an echo?" Yes. An echo pops in. It was hilarious.
Where do you think we're going next? I mean,
I'm done saying Crosshair because he's basically out.
but
of the
like
show.
that was the voice Wrecker heard.
Yeah.
When it was starting to almost kick in. So
Yeah.
I mean, he could be coming.
I mean, we have 10 episodes, and we were saying this before. I mean, you have to think a couple of them are going to be throwaway episodes.
Yeah, I think we got them.
Yeah.
You know, I think these past 2 ones were the throwaways.
Throwaways.
And I think we're in a snowball starting to pick up. We have to jump back to the Empire at some point and see what is going on.
Yeah.
I think.
I think there's definitely, like, I agree. I think there's going to be a 2-3 episode arc of the Empire.
Yeah.
Of the 10, I think 2 or 3, so not a throwaway, but 2 to 3 of them of the 10 are going to be not the Bad Batch.
Yeah.
And then of that 7, that's going to be the rest of our season. Mm-hmm. And whatever the arc is in there, I have no idea.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Nothing.
I mean, we're going to have to find out who the assassin is or who hired
Fennec Shand.
Right. And now we have our second mysterious character. We still have no idea what happened in Kanan.
Yeah.
And we still need to know what's going to happen to Wrecker. We need to know what happened to Crosshair. This new crew is probably hunting them down still.
Yep.
Like, there's a lot of mysteries happening. Grogu? Where's Grogu? in all this? I don't know, man. Yeah, there's a lot.
I'm
what
excited.
about you?
No, I mean, I literally the same. No clue on what's going to go on, but I'm excited to see where it goes from here.
This was the most action-packed episode for sure.
Definitely.
And it was so much. Anything we were saying how it was dragging before, that was all gone. This was hilarious. There was so much action, throwback, Easter eggs.
One thing I'm excited for is to see Omega get her reps in. And start killing the bow and arrow game.
If next episode she's hitting heads, like just straight up headshots, I'm like, all right, it's time to get to the gym.
So it's built. But I think this wraps up this episode here. Make sure you like, share, follow, subscribe to the YouTube channel, to the podcast, our Instagram page, Facebook, Twitter. We're everywhere, guys. We're taking over. Be on the lookout for us. We'll see you again next week. And peace.